Hi, everyone. In our Parsha of Naso, we read about the dedicatory sacrifices that were brought by the princes of the various tribes when the Mishkan in the desert was dedicated. On this, the Medrash in Vayikra Rabbah brings the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Chaviv karbanam shel nesiyim lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu k'shira she'amru Yisrael bayam. The favor with which these karbanot of the Nisiyim found in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu was as endearing as the Shira that Bnei Yisrael sang at the splitting of the Sea of Reeds. Shira she'amru Yisrael bayam ze keli v'anvehu v'kan ktiv ze korban Nachshon ben Aminadav. The word ze, this, is used at the time of the Shira, and likewise in describing and enumerating each of the tribal offerings that the Nesi'im brought. And the question is, what's the import here of the Medrash? Surely it means more than just the concept of finding the word Zeh by the Shira and Zeh by the Karbanot of the Nesi'im. So it seems that when you think about it, there are two different ways that one can come to increase his emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. One who witnesses miracles, and one who, through the power of reflection and intellect and introspection, comes to appreciate a greater sense of emunah in Hashem. With the first method, when there are a group of people who witness the same miracle, they all saw more or less the same thing, their level of emunah sparked by this witnessing will be pretty much the same for each of them. Whereas if it comes to a person's introspection and intellect and capabilities, then everybody has their own level. So when Bnei Yisrael were in Mitzrayim and they all witnessed the tremendous miracles that Hashem brought, so the Torah tells us in the singular, Vaya'amein ha'am, they were all as one. They all saw the same thing, came to the same level of emunah because of their witnessing of these miracles. As opposed to subsequently, by the time they reached Yam Suf, they had matured, and at this point, each and every one could say regarding himself, Ze keli v'anvehu, because this was an experience where through haskala, intellect, and introspection, they came to increase their emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And similarly in our parsha. In our parsha, despite the fact that each and every one of the 12 karbanot was one and the same, every nasi here was having an experience of spirituality and increased emunah in Hashem through the power of his own intellect. Every karban was brought with the particular kavanot and intentions of each and every nasi. And perhaps that's why the Torah spends 72 psukim to describe 12 identical tribal karbanot. Halavai that we should be zocha to increase our emunah in Hashem as he brings us and all of Am Yisrael tremendous miracles. But in the absence of such, may we work on ourselves to develop our level of intellect and insight into HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his ways that will lead to an increase in Yiras Shamayim, Emunah, and Bitachon in Hashem. Shabbat Shalom.